McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Welcome back, folks. This week, our producer Seth Johnson is taking his Carbon Barrel 300 PRC with his Hornady bullets, and he's headed to Deep South Texas to the Novillos Ranch. Got a bunch of deer down there that he's had his eye on, and I think they're in trouble. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, Forge Carbon Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Atlas Development Group, and Great Horizon Ranch.
What can you say about the Novias Ranch? I've been hunting down there for probably 17, 18 years now. Some of my best friends in the world I've all met through this ranch. Lamar, Allan, Mr. Jackie, all the cameramen. We've had years and years of friendship from this ranch, and I've taken some incredible deer in the past hunting here. So this year, when we got the invite from Mr. Jackie to be able to go back and hunt these big deer, I jumped at the chance.
Back in South Texas at the Novillos Ranch, and we're in one of Seth's favorite places, the rifle range.
That's right.
Mr. Tinker here, Mr. Bullet Loader, he knows everything about this stuff, and he's going to tell us what he's shooting today.
So I have a 300 PRC, we have a 26-inch Hell's Canyon carbon fiber wrap barrel, and this one is topped with Zeiss's brand new V8NA scope. This is just out on the market. It's a 2.8 to 20 by 56, 30 millimeter tube. What's unique about it is their fiber optic light there in the middle of the reticle. And then of course the reticle in here was designed by Allan at McWhorter Custom Rifles. So this thing shoots a 210 grain bullet. It is on. We're gonna shoot it out to 1,000 yards today. We're gonna start at 300. How about it?
Have fun.
Let's do it.
Ready. That's it.
There you go, 1,000 yards. Won't shoot at a deer that far, but it gives you some confidence at 300 yards all day long. So I think we're ready. So one of the things I also love about hunting South Texas is I always line up this trip about the same time as my birthday. So you can just about count the rut being from around the 15th of December to the 30th of December. And I always line it up to be around there about the December 17th because of one reason. Miss Debbie makes the world's best carrot cake. And if I go down there on a hunt on my birthday, she's gonna make me one. So that is the perk as well, besides hunting these big old deer. But I was going to go down a few days before Allan could get there, so Lamar and I had a few days to hunt ahead. One of my favorite blinds to hunt on the Novias is the house blind. It's just, it's like, I call it the zoo, because there are deer all over the place. You know, we had spent a couple of days with Lamar and his granddaughter trying to get her a big buck. So finally it was my turn to hunt, and we went straight to the house blind. All right, morning number one, we are going to the famous house blind. I've had a lot of success at this blind in the past, but you're looking for a big, old, mature chocolate 8-point that Ricky's seen a couple times scouting. So it's warm, 75 degrees or so in December, but little bit of a moon too, full moon, so we don't know quite what's gonna happen, but I suspect we'll see some deer, and the rut's just starting to kick off, but maybe, just maybe we can find this big old deer this morning. So let's go. So first morning at the house blind, we had deer all over us, and two just incredible bucks walks out. One in particular deer, right down the North Sendero, walks out this big old buck. Just, I could tell his body size, mature deer, real long 2s and 3s on him, just a great mature buck. Now, we were looking for a ghost of a big 8-point that was probably gonna score over 150. In the back of my mind, we know we're looking for this huge 8-point, and out walks this deer with these long 2s and 3s. And guys, I'm telling you, it was a test, because this deer was beautiful, he was old, he was mature. That's the kind of deer I hunt. I'm not usually the one that's gonna camp out on a deer to try to get a specific deer. And when that deer came out, I was like, I really would like to shoot him. But in the back of my mind, I heard Mr. Jackie. It's the first morning, and I decided not to shoot him on the very first morning of the hunt.
This segment is brought to you by Board & Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Board & Accuracy equals success.
So we got back to camp, we looked at him, we talked about him, showed him to Mr. Jackie, and he said, oh, that's a great real old deer. You can shoot that one if you want. And that was all I needed to hear. Morning number 2, we go right back to the house blind. We get settled in. Morning's coming up. We have deer in front of us in the short Sendero, as they usually are. And that's where we had seen him the day before. I was hoping he was gonna come out there. There's a real long Sendero that's probably 450, 460 yards. I look down there and there's a lot of deer at the very end. And then out pops this buck. I looked at him in the Zeiss binoculars. I immediately saw the big long 2s and 3s. I knew it was the same big old mature buck we had seen the morning before. He's around 300 yards and he's chasing a doe back and forth across the Sendero. So I got my McWhirter 300 PRC up out the window. I got my stick settled on the back, and I just was pointing right down that Sendero, because I knew eventually if that doe popped out, he's gonna be right behind her. There he is. Guys ready? Oh, that was awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
You know, you don't want to celebrate, you know, because you don't know, but I felt good about it, though. All right.
Look at all that.
Whoa. There's a blood trail right there. I mean, oh man, look at this deer. Goodness gracious, what a pretty buck. Look at that. Oh, what a hunt this morning. At the house blind, we have had a lot of success at this blind in the past, haven't we?
Yes, sir, we have.
What a buck. We were thinking this deer was at least 8 years old when we shot him. Now that we've looked at the teeth on this thing, gosh, he might even be older than that, but what a buck. Last year we got some great footage of him and he looks like he's on the way down.
Yeah, he did. He dropped a little bit.
But what a buck. And you can tell when they get these wavy antlers like this, put some age on him, but what a pretty deer. We saw him yesterday, didn't quite know what deer he was, studied him when we got some footage when we got back to the lodge and decided he was a shooter. We came out, he came out in the long Sendero. He came out about 360 at first and then was in and out, chasing some does, back and forth, and finally got settled about 300 yards, and the McWhorter 300 PRC made a great shot. He was a little quarter too, so went in shoulder out on this side. Can't really show it because it's a bit too graphic, but it put a hurting on him, but what a buck. So this year I'm hunting with a McWhorter 300 PRC, and it's topped with Zeiss's brand new V8NA scope. It's 2.8 to 20 by 56. The brand new model, incredible low light, that reticle, that lit reticle in the middle. I love that setup, and it did a number on this big old South Texas old mature buck here on the Novillos Ranch. What a hunt. Novillos Ranch, guys, deep South Texas, the birthplace of deer management. I love it.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Leo Photo USA, Brux Barrels, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, and Borden Accuracy.
So like Allan always says, one of the perks of hunting South Texas and the Novios Ranch, once you get your trophy, you're gonna go out and shoot some coals. And so that afternoon, I went to the north blind. I had my McWhorter 300 PRC in hand, a pocket full of bullets, and I had some herd management to do.
Buddy.
There you go.
You got him.
All right.
You got him.
Nice. Now that is a funky deer right there. Look at that thing. In South Texas, they call this a coal. Other parts of the world, management deer, whatever you want to look at it, it's an inferior buck that needs to be removed from the herd. He's got all kinds of crazy things going on, and one that Ricky said we need to shoot, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm happy to put the McWhorter 300 PRC to work. High shoulder shot, 275 yards. The deer density ratios in this part of South Texas are so high that you got to remove deer or nutrition goes down. And what's the first thing to go when nutrition goes down?
Yep.
Body weight, antler size, right?
Yes, sir.
So we call this putting the McWhorter to work. It's a hunt. It's fun. Thanks again, buddy. What a day.
Yes, sir.
Had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, folks. This week we're going to continue our series of shooting positions in the field, and John, our True Precision long range hunting and shooting instructor, is going to demonstrate the prone position. So we're going to go over this today. This is a great position. The lower to the ground that you get, it always decreases your wobble area. The higher you get off the ground, the more it's going to increase it. So the bipods are good for underbrush that's under 12 inches. So you're not going to be able to shoot from this more than probably 25–30% of the time, depending on where you're hunting. But the most important thing is he's still shooting center pec. His shoulders are still square to the recoil line. He's got his feet spread out. He's pushing forward with his toes to keep the bipod loaded, which means he's got forward pressure on the bipod so that the first action of the rifle is not against anything, and it comes out of that load and back towards his body. All right? So he's going to use his level. He's going to, everything else, finger position, whole 9 yards is going to be exactly the same. But he's got a straight line in his body. He's pushing forward on the bipod, and he's ready to shoot. So let's dial it up here and see if he shoots it right and hits his 400-yard target. I'm betting he will. No pressure, world record buck. Got him. Good shot. So there's a lot of people know how to just lay on the ground and they'll get all sideways to the gun and all kind of other adverse shooting positions, but a straight line is always the best thing. Staying loaded in your bipod, squeezing to fall through, all your regular principles of shooting, and you end up with a perfect shot just like that. And that's your True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by Allan and John and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
Another morning, we ought to be having camo shorts and camo t-shirt.
75 degrees at 6 a.m. in South Texas. Huh?
Heading up to 85, but you're staying here at the Novias. I'm going back to the feed yard. We got our sights set on
A couple
of cowboys said they have found some bucks for us and we're hunting them, so anyway.
Maybe today's the day.
Maybe today's the day. We can't shoot them in here, so.
That's right. Good luck to you.
Hey. All right, we got a nice management buck at 9 point at about 280 yards. All right, 300 yards. I need 2.5 MOA. Bang flop. 300 yards, 6.5 PRC. All right, here's the management buck. And if you notice the whipping of the shadows, well, it's the green energy behind us in these power mills, these windmills, making energy for the South Texas. But the Novillos Ranch here at the feed yard can be tough hunting, full moons, hot, but we like to help. It makes it a hunt. You don't always have to kill a big one. It's nice, but you don't always have to. The 6.5 PRC by McWhorter DRT'd him at 300 yards. He didn't move a muscle, he just went straight down. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Novillos Ranch, and let's go find a big one.
So another good friend of ours was Miller. He was there with his dad, Jeff Friedman. They're out of the Houston area, longtime friends with Mr. Jackie, and they got invited to come down and hunt with us. So Miller and Rick, they went and hunted a blind called Lee's Blind. Not too long, a couple of deer walk out, and out walks this pretty 10 point, big old body on them.
Oh, you got it. Oh man, you got it. That's awesome. Hey buddy.
Thank you, Ricky. This was awesome.
Sure, no problem,
really appreciate it. This is awesome.
That's a pretty deer, huh?
Very. Very.
Like I said, we've been seeing him. I've been seeing him for a while already. We saw him last year. We can get on him. This year, this morning he came out kind of dark. You have to wait a little bit for daylight.
Yeah.
But it paid off. You see here?
Sure did.
You did a perfect shot. He's on the ground.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
Couldn't
about.
have gone any better.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Jackie has been a friend of mine for well over 18 years. I've watched him fight one of the hardest fights of his life. He went through a bout of throat cancer that would have killed many a lesser man, and he came through and fought it. And one of his rewards to himself was to go and hunt a big old brown bear in Alaska after he was cured from and beat cancer. So Mr. Jackie is just one of those true South Texas, salt of the earth people. When I got the call that Mr. Jackie had passed away, it was one of the most devastating calls I think I've gotten in a long, long time. I've lost family members and before, but I've never lost a really, really close friend, and this one hurt. And I know every one of us feel the same way about him. This place, the friendships we formed here, it's really shaped who I am. So, Mr. Jackie, I know somewhere you've got all kinds of cameras and bullets and up there in heaven. I know you're having a great time, and I promise I'll see you again someday.